Hi guys, so today I'm going to be sharing this beans recipe. The first thing I did was to wash my beans properly. I'm using black eyed peas here. I used to use the parboil method where I parboil the beans for a while before I cook it, but that didn't totally remove the heartburn. I still got some heartburn at some point. Then I tried this method and it actually worked. I did not get any heartburn. So I washed it properly under running water. I soaked the beans for over 6 hours. Sometimes I soak it for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on when I get back to cook the beans. After soaking it for several hours, the beans got bigger. But soaking the beans here is what prevents the heartburn. The thing I did was to boil the beans. If you have a pressure cooker, feel free to use it. Now the first thing I use to spice my beans is ground ginger. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more amazing recipes like this. After ground ginger, I went in with garlic powder. Then I added some water and allowed it to boil. The next thing I did was to prep my potatoes. I peeled my potato and I diced it into cubes like this. Then after the beans had cooked for a while, I added some salt and 2 knorr seasoning cubes. Then I allowed that to cook with more water. After that, I added my diced potatoes. And I stirred and I allowed it to cook properly. By now the beans was half done. After a while, I stirred and I allowed it to cook. The next thing I did was to prep my smoked fish. I deboned the fish and properly cleaned it. After that, I broke the fish into smaller pieces. The next thing I prepared was my palm oil stew for the beans. I poured some palm oil into a pan. What I did was to saute some grated onions in the oil. I allowed that to fry for a while. After that, I added my smoked fish and I stirred and allowed it to fry with the onion. When frying the stew, this is your chance to create as much flavor as you want. I added ground crayfish. Crayfish goes a long way in building flavor in beans. Then I added 2 knorr cubes. I stirred and I allowed it to fry properly. The next thing I added was some leftover stew that I have. I like using stew in my beans whenever I have stew in the fridge, but if you don't have stew, you can use ground pepper, ground habanero pepper, ground chili pepper, any kind of pepper and onion mix you have. After that, I added my boiled beans and potato mix. I made sure the beans got soft before I took it off the fire, stirred properly. As you stir the beans thoroughly, the potato starts to melt into the beans and you can't see it in chunks anymore. At this point, you can add some cayenne pepper or white pepper or black pepper to increase the spiciness. If you have any questions regarding this recipe, please leave a comment below. This beans is going to come out thick because of the potato, the melted potato in the beans. So you can simply add water to make it more watery. These beans gave everything it was supposed to give. It was so thick and so rich.